Hello everyone, we are live now. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's the first ever live stream I'm doing from my YouTube channel. So I hope everything works out. The audio quality and the video quality is good. For my first ever live stream, I have a special guest from China joining me, which is Sami. I think he doesn't need any further introduction because like everyone who is involved with action cameras knows him from Facebook and YouTube, I guess. So today we want to talk about the new Xiaomi Mijia 4K action camera. It's a pretty interesting camera. There are a lot of questions which I collected, and one reason why we want to do this live stream is that you can ask us live your questions you have related to this camera. And Sami has the camera with him, so we can check like everything you want to know about this camera. And ask it. Let me switch to you, Sami.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, now you're live. Here's the camera. Check everything you want to know about this camera. So we said like I'm starting off and talking a bit about the specs, comparing it to other action cameras, and then Sami will give a little feedback on the camera about his user experience. So let's talk specs of this new camera, and yeah, so you don't have to see us all the time. I'm going to switch to some photos so you can watch the camera while we're talking about it. And here they are. So Xiaomi Mijia 4K action camera. So what's included in this camera? This camera has an Ambarella A12 processor, which is the same one as SJ-Cam SJ7, for example, or Firefly 8S or TIT5 action camera. I think it's not like the latest generation of processors because Yi4K and GoPro use the Ambarella A9 processor, which is a bit faster, and Yi4K Plus uses the latest generation of Ambarella processors, which is the H2 processor that enables 4K with 60 frames per second and image stabilization with 4K and 30 frames per second. But the sensor of the camera is pretty interesting. The 8 megapixel Sony IMX317 sensor. And I think that's the same sensor used in Sony's flagship action camera, the FDR X3000 camera. And it's also going to be used in the new GitUp F1 action camera, which is GitUp's first 4K or native 4K action camera. The sensor is 8 megapixels, so smaller in terms of the maximum pixel size compared to like many other action cameras which use a 12 megapixel sensor, but the resolution is 16 × 9 compared to the 12 megapixel 4:3 sensor. So the photo resolution is a bit smaller. And let's take a look at the frame rates. So Xiaomi Mijia camera can do native 4K with 30 frames per second, 1080p with a maximum of 100 frames per second, and 720p with a maximum of 200 frames per second, which I think is like a little odd because usually like the maximum frame size is a multiple of 30 frames per second, which would be 120 frames per second in 1080p, like Yi4K is doing. I don't know actually why this is limited. Let's take a look at the lens, which looks like pretty large on the camera. It's 2.8 or f2.8 lens with 145 degrees field of view. So the field of view is actually a pretty small, or like not pretty small, but smaller than other action cameras. So I think there is like less distortion on this camera. And oh, I think Sami is currently not with us. I just have to send him the invite again. I hope that the internet connection works for him. I'll just like send him again the link, and I hope that he is joining soon. He is currently writing me that he had some problems.
Hey.
Sami is back.
I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm back.
did you get what I was
the VPN
talking
thing.
about?
The VPN is.
Okay, I was just.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, like my first question is, I was just talking about the lens of a Xiaomi Mijia Action Camera, and it has like 145 degrees field of view, which is a bit smaller than most other cameras, which have like 170 degrees. So I think there should be like less distortion. So when you tested the camera, did you notice that there is less distortion in the pictures?
You mean the Mijia 4K action camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is less distortion because Mijia is 145 degree, right? And E4K and E4K Plus is like 155 degrees. So yeah, it's less distortion for Mijia 4K action camera.
Do you like the picture? I think, I mean, for action sports, like a bigger field of view is like usually better because like more to capture and it looks a bit more dynamic. So I think like Xiaomi might be a little bit more like, let's say, consumer trimmed, like to be an all-rounder camera. Do you have the same impression? Is it like more focused on user?
Oh, sorry, it's pretty laggy here, the voice. Sorry, so.
Okay.
So
then let me continue with the specs, and I'll get to you a bit later. Okay?
Yeah, get to me a bit later, and maybe for the specs, I'm not that no as detailed as you, but I can maybe later talk about the user experience of this Mijia Action Camera. So go ahead, Philip. Sorry about this.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
First time we try. So if there is any feedback on our live stream, of course, like let us know how we can do it better. And I hope you enjoy it so we can do it more often. Yeah, so what else was I going to say? Like, okay, in terms of photos, Xiaomi has like 8 megapixels and does 16x9 photos, whereas most other cameras have like 12 megapixels and a 4:3 resolution. There is, of course, image stabilization built in. Sami will later talk a bit about his experience with image stabilization. What I was pretty impressed about with this camera are like two factors, because the screen is actually pretty big. So it has a 2.4-inch screen, which is a little larger than the E4K and E4K Plus action camera. They have a 2.19-inch screen, and GoPro Hero 5 Black has a 2-inch screen. So yeah, can you see it? Okay. And also, like, the battery should be very powerful because it has like 1,450 milliampere hours. In terms of ports and connectivity, I'm going to switch back to some photos now so you can see it. In terms of connectivity, it has like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I'm not sure currently how the camera connects to the smartphone app, if like the image is transferred via Wi-Fi or via Bluetooth. Maybe Sami can talk about a bit about this later on. The camera has, you can see it here, one small door, and behind this door is a micro USB port. So external microphone won't be available on Xiaomi Mijia Action Camera, because from the technical point of view, it's not possible with B-port. For external microphone, you need like USB Type-C port, which is integrated in E4K Plus Action Camera or GoPro Hero 5 Black. So if you're looking for it, there's also no HDMI port, if I'm correct. And yeah, like
yes, it doesn't have HDMI.
And like Yi camera, it has the 1/4-inch standard photo tripod mount on the bottom, which I like a lot because you can mount the camera without any additional gear. Like that's one small piece of yeah, one small item I'm missing like the most on a GoPro, that you can mount the camera directly without like any additional accessories needed. So in terms of features, I only know that the camera offers like photo and video, obviously, time-lapse, burst, and timer mode. So that's like my first question to you, Sami. What about the features of this camera? What kind of features does the camera offer?
Okay, so actually I've been using it for like a few days. I mean, the overall user experience, when you turn on, I'm gonna show you a little bit what's inside. Maybe is it okay? Anyways, maybe it's not that clear. So the interface, you see, just a swipe left, and it has 9 modes here. So the interface, to be honest, I really like it. It's simpler than the E4K or E4K Plus. What do you think, Philip? Do you like this kind of interaction, the interface?
It looks good. It looks good. I mean, I like the Yi interface a lot because it's like I don't know. I think the structure is a bit clearer, I have to say.
Yeah, but the only thing is the screen. Yeah, maybe because of the price, but it's obviously not high definition HD, you know, and sometimes it's lag, but overall it's okay. It's okay in this price range. For the video quality, for Mijia 40 Plus, the only problems maybe I have to say is always oversaturated and always too sharp. It's just basically like medium. I think it would be better with a little bit optimizing. But yeah, in this price range, I think it's a good camera. Though it's it's the E4K action cameras competed, but I have to say this it's not a very bad product. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Well, actually, I just got a very good question or comment here on our live stream from GoPro today. He asks, why don't they make splash rainproof cameras? Because most people shoot outdoors, but only a few will go underwater. I mean, we just did a live stream before that, and we're talking about the Yi cameras. And I said, like, I'm usually using my Yi cameras without like any case. I'm just using it like this. Even though if it's slightly raining, and I actually never had a problem with it. What I'm also not sure is like, is the Mijia Action Cam like splash proof or rain proof or anything like this? Because I'm having like the Mijia 360 camera, and the 360 camera is splash proof, I guess. I mean, they say like it's IP67 waterproof, and you can also like put it underwater for like half an hour or half a meter or something like this. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go diving with it, but it feels like that you can use it in rain and wet conditions. So what do you think about the Mijia? Is it, or the Mijia Action Camera? Is it similar to that camera? Would you also like use it in the rain?
Yeah.
Or is it, what do you think about the housing or the build quality of the camera? Does it look like it could sustain like raindrops?
You ask me, right? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Sami just dropped out again. So we're waiting for him to come back, and we'll come back to that question in a second. Well, since I was just talking about the Mijia 360 camera, this camera is splash and rain proof, and I actually like the build quality of the camera, and that's also something I wanted to talk with Sami about. I see he is back already.
Yeah.
Maybe he can jump in, because I think like the quality build of the camera of the 360 camera is pretty good, because like the frame is made of aluminum, and it looks like very tough build. So what's your impression of the action cam?
The Mijia Action Camera, the build quality, let me see a little bit. I think the frame, is not metal. It's not metal, but looks sturdy. Looks sturdy and strong, I guess. But obviously, it's not rainproof or waterproof. So you see all the mics, there. So the speakers there, you can get the water can get in easily, but the build quality is not bad. Like I said in my review video of the Mijia action camera, I really like the design of Mijia. The polished appearance, the hand feel. It's really nice. It's really nice. Yeah. So but yeah, maybe like I had this analogy for it. Like it's like a handsome guy in a really shitty clothes, for the e-action cameras. But for Mijia, it's like a ugly guy in a really fancy or good clothes. Yeah, that's a bad example, but you get it. You get it.
Yeah. Well, also like, what actually did you get with your camera when you got it? Because I think like the standard package contains just the camera and the USB port, the USB cable. Sorry. I know from the website that there is going to be like a special gimbal which will hold this camera, and of course there will be like on a water case. So did you get any accessories so far?
No, I don't. And I haven't seen the gimbal, the waterproof case from the official Mi side though. So I guess they just need some time. Yeah, but yeah, since the pictures out there, should be very soon, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we were talking about before when you lost your internet connection was like features. So I mentioned there is like time lapse, burst, and timer mode. Are there any other features?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me check. Let me turn on. Okay. I hope. What? Oh, sorry. I turned off. Let me turn on. Actually, it's like it has. Okay. Yeah. It has like a time-lapse slow motion. And the video plus picture, and the timer, and the burst, and the time-lapse photo. That's the demos. Actually, it just don't have live mode compared to E4K.
Yeah, I was just turning on my 4K action camera. So on my if I counted it correctly on your camera, Xiaomi should have like 9 items, and I think E4K has also like 9 items plus a 10th one, which is like live streaming.
Yes.
Is currently not available. I mean, could be in the future. What do you think? Will there be live streaming?
I don't know.
Okay.
Though. But if they can do this, they will. add that on the camera, but I don't know. Things I'm not from Mijia. Yeah.
Yeah, I also noticed like when I watched the video, your review on your channel, that also the settings, there are not like a lot of settings to like fine tune your image. I think there's white balance and ISO control or something like this. I think like the Yi cameras are like more advanced because there are like more settings to fine tune the image. Also like with a flat image profile for color grading in post-production. So when you use the camera, do you think like the settings available on the camera are enough, or are there like some important items missing?
Uh, to be honest, to be honest, uh, yeah, E4K like E4K, E4K Plus, there are lots features like the settings, the ISO, the distortion of things. But the only problem is for me is I never use those. I never use those. I just set to water or water, so just leave it to the camera. So for the Mijia, it doesn't have that much settings, but I think it's enough for you to use. It has the quality, distortion, and the EIS, but the EIS it only works on 1080p, 60 fps, and 30 fps. So that may be a little bit of problem, and it doesn't have 2.7K. But
Well,
I think
actually,
yeah,
the image stabilization works up to 2.7K and 60 frames per second on Yi 4K action camera. Is
yeah,
there actually a 2.7K frame rate setting on Mia, or is it only
no,
4K, 1080p, and 720p?
it doesn't have 2.7K. It has 2.5K.
Okay, but image stabilization is not available in 2.5K. On the
Yeah,
only
if I turn
1080p.
on, if I change it to the 2.5K, then yeah, then I cannot find the EIS now. I cannot
Okay.
find. So yeah.
When you use the camera, are there like any other issues you noticed with the camera? I mean, I was like using 360 camera for quite a while now, and as I already mentioned, I think like the build quality of the camera is very good, and it feels like really good because like of the metal frame, and it just feels nice when you hold this camera. The only thing I noticed is like that there are some bugs with still with the firmware, because the last time I tried to render a full resolution with the iPhone, because rendering with the iPhone is only available in 4K or in the highest resolution with iPhone 6s or later, iPhone 6s. But the video seemed like to be a little jerky, so not like smoothly rendered. So I'm currently rendering it with my PC. Mac software is currently not available. So are there like any firmware issues you noticed with the camera?
Oh, about the E360, right? Oh, but sorry, about the
Well,
Mijia.
yeah, no, I mean, like since I haven't used the Mijia Action Camera and only the 360 camera from them, like I
Yeah,
noticed there
yeah.
are like some firmware issues, and I just wanted to know if there are also like some firmware issues on the Action Cam as well.
Oh, you mean yeah? The only problem is, I guess it's freezing. It's freezing all the time. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a hardware problem or with a firmware problem for this E4 for this Mijia 4K action camera. But beyond that, they said that I don't find any problems with firmware for Mijia though. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just read that we got the first question.
yeah.
Actually, not really like Xiaomi related. It's like Yi related, and Amar is asking, when are you launching Yi M2? So actually, the mirrorless camera. Or how is actually?
EM2.
How is it? Mm-hmm.
Just
Are there
stay
any
tuned,
plans?
guys. Stay tuned. I have
Stay tuned?
lots to
Okay.
say, but I really cannot say. You know? That's how it works in the tech business.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. That's the only thing I can see. You know. So
So
always.
when I can give a hint to you what camera would be interesting. I mean, it's a little off topic now because it's not action camera related. But the last time I was using my camera, I was looking for some kind of vlogger camera, which is currently not really out there, like a mirrorless camera where you can flip the screen, because most of the latest Sony mirrorless cameras, you can't really flip the screen and see yourself.
Yeah.
But at least autofocus works very well on these cameras.
Yeah. I really like the flip
mm-hmm.
one as well.
Yeah. Which camera are you using for vlogging?
Actually, for vlog, I'm using the E4K or E4K action cameras. I never use this this mirrorless because it's too heavy, I guess. But this is Lumix G7, Sony G7.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
What was actually like are there? Let's wait for some questions on Xiaomi Mijia camera if there are some questions out there. But in the meantime, what was actually the first camera you ever had? Like your first ever camera?
Mine. I would say the E-Action Camera 1. You know, the E-Action Camera first generation. That's the action camera I use, and I really like it at that time. You know that, and at that time I didn't even join Xiaomi. I didn't even join e-technology, but I really, you know, it would be a dream for me to join e-technology. So at that time, I managed to contact the officials from e-technology, and then I had a meeting. I had some meetings, you know, with the boss, and I also helped with the action cameras community, the Facebook group things, forum things. I was responsive to the questions. So yeah, and then the boss of the technology and really, you know, appreciate that and said, hey, why not, you know, working for you technology? I said, yeah, let's do it. So I moved back and then moved from Beijing to Shanghai, the headquarters. So actually, Philip, you say you plan to go to visit Shanghai. You must come to the headquarters of Xiaomi.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
But I planned it for a long time to visit Shanghai and to visit the Yi headquarters. So
Great.
I'm going there for sure. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
But I really want to see.
Show you around.
Yeah, actually, I also tried, like, but I think you haven't been to the IFA in Berlin this year. But last year I met your colleagues at IFA in Berlin, which was very nice.
Yes,
so
yes.
Actually, like 1 year ago, I already promised that I'm going to Shanghai. So yeah, it will happen at some time.
Yeah. I hope you can make it very soon. So what is your first action? What is your first camera?
I mean, my first action camera ever was a Contour HD camera. It was released, I think, in 2010. And I think it was the first ever action camera to record 1080p video. So I think it was released, I'm not quite sure on this now, but I think like the GoPro Hero 2 was, or the Hero 1 was not able doing 1080p, or Hero 2 wasn't able to do 1080p. But the GoPro camera was released like 2 or 3 weeks later, so that's like why I got the Contour camera. I don't know if the camera or like the manufacturer is still around, but I actually like the camera. It looked a bit like the Sony action cameras. So also nice to mount. And they had like a special feature that you can mount the camera, and then you can turn the lens, and you just level the lens after mounting, which was like very convenient to mount. But I just got something else I wanted to show you, because like we talked about the first camera ever before. I can show you. I don't have the first ever action camera with me, but I have the first ever camera I had with me. I can show it to you. It's like
that's nice. I would like to see.
That's like the first ever camera I had.
That's professional.
No, that's not professional. It's just very, very old, because it's a VHS camera. So with the big VHS tapes.
Okay. How much does it cost?
I don't know. Well, I used this camera like 20 years ago, something like this. Yeah, must be like 20 years ago.
Great.
But actually, I used the contour action cameras for quite a while, and then I kind of stopped using action cameras for a bit, because there was the time around the GoPro Hero 3 was out, and then also one reason why I started my blog was like when the first Yi camera, the original Yi camera, was released. And when I heard about the specs of the first Yi camera, I was like pretty amazed, because the specs were pretty close to GoPro Hero 3 back then, but like only at a fraction of the price. So I immediately ordered one camera, and well, that's why I started my blog, because like at first only the Chinese app was available, so I tried to translate what's actually going on in the app and trying to give some information. And as I was collecting the information for myself, of course, because I wanted to use the camera, I thought like, well, why not sharing with anyone else? So that's why I like created my blog. So that were like the first steps, and it started with the original Yi camera almost like 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah.
But actually, that's a good point, because like at the beginning, the menu was only available in Chinese. Is the menu of Xiaomi Mijia is currently also only available in Chinese, right?
Yeah. And that's actually how I know you, how I get to know you, and I send you messages and asking you that, and you quite responsive, and then and then we talk more and more, and became friends, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I always try to like respond to like all the questions I'm getting, and
yes.
Sometimes I'm quite slow if there are like a lot of questions coming in. So that's also why I like this live stream that like everyone can ask us questions. So if you have any questions, please ask us, and we will answer them immediately. And well, that's your chance, because I think most retailers don't ship the Xiaomi Mijia currently, or like at least internationally. So Sami is one of the few guys in the world who actually has a camera in his hand, and he can answer your questions. So
any questions about the Mijia 4K action cameras, just comment in the section.
Yeah, well, if you're watching this video later on, well, still like comment everything below. I hope Sami is also like checking my YouTube channel and answering the questions over here.
Yeah, I'm checking.
So do you have any new review videos planned you're going to do with your Xiaomi Mijia camera? I mean, you just came home from a vacation trip, I think, but I think you didn't use the Mijia Action Camera there. You just used your Mijia drone.
I didn't. Oh, to be honest, I didn't. I really didn't. For this vacation, I bring the E4K Plus, E4K, and also the DJI Phantom 3. And you can check the video I just posted on my channel. It's good, but I didn't bring Mijia 4K. Mostly, I think the dynamic range is from Mijia 4K is not that great, and the web is oversaturated, so I didn't bring. But yeah, for the vlog thing, I was using the E4K cameras.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said like you used both
and
the E4K and E4K Plus. Is there like anything or like when to use which camera, or is it like the one you have by hand?
if I work very much, like I will use E4K Plus because it has electronic stabilization of 4K30, so I will use that. But other times I use E4K, whatever on my hand, and then just take photo or video. Yeah, and for the one suggestion for this media 4K action camera, I would not bash it, say battery camera or something. But I suggest you guys, if you want to try that, I suggest you guys can wait for a few a month, or yeah, at least for a few months, because it's not that stable. It's like the other day I did a review together about the media action camera and the E4K, and it freezes 6 times. No, the action cameras, so it's not stable. So I suggest you can wait. I think, yeah, you can wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's like the same impression I had with the 360 camera, because the image quality looked great, and the firmware was just like a little buggy. And actually, I re-rendered the first video I ever took with this camera, and I was able to render it, so the information is there. It's just like the processing. It's just like a bit of the firmware. So, but another point, we also talked in the live stream on your channel, and you just said that you are using the E4K Plus because of image stabilization. And as you know, I'm like a big fan of gimbals, because that's like my favorite accessory for action cameras. Are you using gimbals in general?
I not using that much, but I will be. Some many fans suggest me using gimbal. Sorry. Suggest me using. Just a second, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time. So in the meantime, you're not.
I'm trying to share your video.
Okay.
I'm trying to share your video. Sorry about that. But yeah, many fans suggest me using the gimbal, and I will use the gimbal. Currently, I'm not using it because I don't have a gimbal. But yeah, like I said, there will be 2 versions of the gimbals very soon, and I will use them all the time.
Maybe can you repeat what you talked about in the other live stream on your channel?
Yeah.
That there is something to expect, or like, do you have time frame for us, or like when we should watch the news?
Should be this month. Should be.
Okay.
It should be this month.
We'll wait for it. I mean, in the meantime, if you want to have a gimbal for free, you know that I'm currently running a giveaway on my channel. So if you want to have either the Feiyu Gimbal C or the Xeon Smooth Q gimbal, just comment below the video I did, and you can get one for free. And these both gimbals hold like any kind of camera, might it be 4K Plus, GoPro Hero 5 Black, any camera. So I'm a big fan of gimbals, so I use them a lot. And like with what we talked about, which camera I'm using, I'm usually using like E4K Plus for most of the shots. But for the shots where I might risk the camera, I'm taking cheaper E4K camera. So
yeah.
Since a friend of mine lost one of my cameras, I'm being like more careful. But yeah.
Sorry about that.
Getting a good shot is like sometimes more important than the camera.
Yeah.
But usually, like I'm very careful with my equipment, and yeah. I mean, like when was the original E camera released? I think December 2016, the international version, and you can watch it. It still looks very, very good. So no damages at all. I done in like 2 years. So are there more questions about? No, no, currently not here. I think we answered like most of them. Like most questions I collected from my blog were about like the ports, but I think we already talked about it. There is a micro USB, so external microphone is not available. There is no HDMI port or like micro HDMI port. I already said like in the live stream we did on your YouTube channel that I think I only used like the HDMI port once or twice in my whole life with action cameras, because I think it's more convenient if you just take out the micro SD card and put the micro SD card into a USB stick SD card reader kind of type, and then just put the stick into your TV set, because like most TV sets also have like a USB port, and the TV has usually a better interface where you can browse all your clips and play them back, and it's easier to watch it on the TV rather than like being connected with the camera to the TV. Then you have to be close to the TV and to look for the shots and play them and so on. So I'm not like really missing the HDMI ports on the action cams, to be honest. Well, external microphone, it's interesting for motorcycle bloggers. I know that it is useful sometimes, but yeah, unfortunately, on Xiaomi Mijia, no USB-C port, which would enable external microphone. So, do you have any other experience with the camera you want to share? So, I'm currently checking if there are more questions, but.
Yeah, I do think I have though. Yeah, I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions from the fans? Oh, does it support scripting?
Yeah, I just read about it.
I think there will be, maybe. I don't know.
But the other thing YiPro wrote is like pretty interesting. Like I don't know about the bit rates. Have you checked the bit rate of the camera of your recordings? Because I think no, not scripting, but the bit rate. On what's the bit rate? Because that's one thing I really like about the Yi 4K action camera. That later on a firmware was introduced pushing the camera to 100 megabits per second recording instead of the original, I think 60 it was back then, which is the same as GoPro Hero 5 Black. So that they actually were working on the firmware, and he was working on the new firmware update and actually pushed the bitrate a little higher. I really like that. So, that's one thing I also don't know, like how high the bitrate of Xiaomi action camera is. Have you checked that? Sami?
Oh,
have you checked if there is what's the bitrate of 4K recording on the Xiaomi camera?
Oh. Sorry, I didn't have the 4K footage right now on my computer. I can later check the footage from my office computer and I will post it here. Yeah, I didn't check that though.
Well, thank you very much, YiPro, for that question. We're going to answer that later. I'm also like curious to find out. I forgot to write it down in my notes when we prepared for this live talk. So I also see like, I mean, can you answer this, Sami? I don't know if you can or are allowed to, because Amar is asking again, is there going to be a Yi M2? So is there going to be, are you continuing the mirrorless camera series?
Yeah, I cannot say much about it. So
no, but like if you're continuing the series, not like any details or anything like this, or.
Yeah, but
so I think like okay. Okay. Focus now. focus might now be more on the 360 camera. Is that right?
Yeah,
so it should be out pretty soon, right?
Yes, there will be. Actually, we released the E360 last month in September, in August, but later we changed a little bit the design, industrial design of E360, but overall it's actually almost the same design. We just move a little bit, like we moved this part with this mark to there. No, I'm still holding an older one, so so the new one is like moving this mark to inside this batch. And also, yeah, sorry about the camera is not clear, but this older version has the gap here, but in the new design there will be a complete one. So yeah, that's the basic changing, very minor change. So yeah, that's basically the same. So I guess I will release the review for E360 very soon. So
cool.
yeah, just stay tuned.
Yeah. I'm staying tuned. I hope like everyone else is also staying tuned to your channel. And
and yours too.
Yeah, I can't post it in the live chat now, but afterwards I will post it in the comments below, the link to your channel.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you can watch when you're watching on YouTube. I think they're on the somewhere up here should be like the info logo somewhere, and I linked Sami's channel already. You just have to click there and go to Sami's channel and subscribe to his channel. So I guess the 360 review should be coming pretty soon from what you are now telling us. Have you ever used the Xiaomi 360 camera?
Xiaomi? No,
Have you?
I don't have though. I don't have Xiaomi 360. So, but I saw some footage from yours. It's really nice. You did a really good job.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean, I haven't released much yet. I just posted 2 videos, I guess. One video where I was like going with a boat in the city center of Vienna, and it was like the first ever footage. And I think we recorded it immediately after I got the camera. And then I did a second one where I tried to render it with the PC software to get a higher resolution. Yeah, still playing around with the camera and looking for let's say now situations how to use it, because like it's a completely different kind of a different style of shooting videos, because like obviously like everything is visible, so you have to be very careful where you place the camera and where you're looking at. I think they were also developing like on the firmware, because like there is already a nice feature integrated, and also like the new, what's it called, Insta360 they are promoting this feature, and GoPro is promoting this feature as well on their 360 camera, the Fusion, which will be out soon, I guess, where you can record the 360-degree video and later on export, let's say, a flat standard HD video, where you can afterwards like zoom in the video and like choose the angle you want to look at. And also Xiaomi is like working on a feature like that, and I think that's like a pretty nice feature. The only thing I'm currently not like where I hope there will be like further improvement on this camera is like image stabilization. It works quite nice, but image stabilization is like on the horizontal and on the vertical axis. And it would be cool to just limit it to the horizontal axis so the video is smooth. And if the camera is turning, that you're also like following the movement of the camera, because currently it's like this, that the camera seems to turn around you, and I think that's currently pretty confusing to watch. Yeah, but I think they are working on it. Let me check real quick if there are some more questions about the Xiaomi Mijia Action Camera not on the live stream. And Oh yeah, that's interesting. On the blog, there is an interesting question. Sami, can you check in burst mode how many photos you can shoot in burst mode?
Oh, let me check. Let me check.
This is pretty interesting. I think I got the info wrong because I read somewhere it's 60 frames per minute, which would be like 1 per second, but that's not like really burst.
Let me check the burst. That's the burst, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like we have 3 pictures per second, 5, 10, 10. It's like 3 pictures per second, 5 pictures per second, 10 pictures per second, 10 pictures per 2 seconds,
Okay.
10 pictures per 3 seconds, and 30 pictures per 6 seconds.
Okay.
That's
so maximum should be like 10 per second then.
Yeah. The maximum is 10 pictures per second.
Okay, well, thank you very much for checking that.
Yeah, no problem.
So that's like great when having a live stream that we can like check all the questions immediately.
Yeah, we should do more of this, right?
Yeah, sure. I think we are almost over because like there are no more questions, so everything should be clear. I hope so about the camera. No desktop software for video media.
I think you answered most of your questions on your blogs or your channel, so.
Yeah, no, there's just one
very responsive.
Yeah. I hope so. At least I try to be. There's one question like from Smithone. I hope I pronounced it correctly. No desktop software for 360 video media camera. Well, there is a desktop software for PC software. There is currently no software for Mac software. For Mac computers, but the latest video I uploaded with my Mijia 360 camera was rendered with the PC desktop software. I'm currently not sure if I linked it on my blog or where it is available for download. It's for sure available for download in the Xiaomi Mijia 360 Facebook group. So there you can check the desktop software for the camera. So I think we covered like most of the questions. So
yeah,
anything you want to say as some kind of famous last words from my first ever live stream?
Yeah. If you have any questions.
Any closing words from your side?
From my side, sorry.
Because I think that we're like. Yeah. Well, you're welcome. I think just one word on the Mac software for Mijia 360. I heard that it should be available pretty soon. So latest info I got was like around end of August, beginning of September. So this would be the time around now. I'm going to check that. So I expect that the software will be around pretty soon. So yeah, I'm also looking forward like for the Mac software, because like batch processing a lot of video is usually easier on a desktop software rather than a phone. And what about the selfie stick for 360 Mijia? Yeah, I heard that there is going to be a special selfie stick similar to the newly announced Insta361, which should be like some kind of invisible stick, so a very thin stick you can't really see in the video. But I just heard the news. I haven't tested it so far. Yeah, that's the latest info on the 360 camera I have, on the Mijia 360 camera. And yeah, Sami, I think you will post some info on the Yi 360 camera pretty soon.
Yeah.
From what we talked before.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think we are done for today. And Sami, thank you very much for taking your time. So I think we're ending our live stream. It's pretty late in Shanghai now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Close to midnight.
Yeah,
So,
good afternoon to
yeah,
you.
thank you.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my day
So,
is not over yet, so I'm still. I should do like a review about the Yi Light action camera actually.
yeah.
So I was testing it recently. I got a lot of test footage. I have to edit it, and I also wanted to do like some comparison shots here in my kind of studio with the original camera, of course, and with the Yi 4K. So that's like on my task currently to complete this video. And yeah, hopefully I also get the Xiaomi Mijia Action Camera soon so that I can do a review as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below, and Sami and I will get back to you and answer your questions. Also, if you have like any advice for us in terms of live streaming, how we can do better, how we can do better like audio or video quality, or any topics you suggest we can talk about in the future. I think that's the live stream is like pretty cool to like talk to each other about the latest tech development and also like answer your questions live and show you everything we know and have lying around here. So from my side, I think I've said everything. Sami, anything from your side?
Yeah, it's just I enjoy this live stream so much, and you know, until next time, I think stay tuned.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Philip, for this
Yeah,
awesome opportunity to have a direct you with our fans. You know, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for your time. And as you already said, thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do a live stream again. So have a nice night, evening, day, like wherever
Afternoon.
you're afternoon. So thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.